50 billion cubic meters of water. That's the amount of water that water utilities around the world waste every year due to leakage. And that volume is equivalent to 20 Olympic-sized swimming pools. And the volume that is equivalent to a supply for 600 million people on this planet. And there's a price tag to that. $14 billion every year down the drain because of leakage. What if I tell you that we can reduce this by 25%? Hiraya Water is a smart water management company. We build solutions that address the many inefficiencies in the water sector. The first product that we've built is called RTAP. RTAP is an advanced pressure management system. It optimizes the operation of pumping stations and water distribution, addressing the problems of leaks, water loss, and high power consumption, among others. So how does this work? Imagine this is your typical pump-fed water distribution system. And in your typical neighborhood, you have a pump that supplies the needed pressure to reach every household in that water network. The efficiency of that water network depends on the efficiency of how you operate your pump. But how do you operate your pump? Currently, there are two common ways: single setting and scheduled mode of operation. In a single setting operation, you operate your pump full blast 24/7, even during off-peak hours. So clearly, that's inefficient, right? And then you have the scheduled mode of operation, or time-based operation. In a time-based operation, the operator may opt to vary the speeds of the pump depending on a predetermined schedule. But that's based on a simple prediction. So we saw the need to develop a more intelligent way of operating pumps. And that's where RTAP began. So RTAP is an intelligent pressure management system. It's based on a patent-pending system. The core of the system is a self-learning algorithm that understands the behavior and characteristics of the water network, and thereby allows the pump to continuously adjust to provide only the needed pressure at any given time. Right? So that's really coming from an ancient way of doing it to guesswork and now intelligent. So that's the concept behind the product. The proof that it works: case studies. Case study number one, we installed our system in one of the villages in Muntinlupa City. We were able to reduce the NRW, or leaks, by 25%. Case study number two, and our first formal demo installation to a true client, which is Orani Bataan, we were able to reduce NRW by 13%, and in terms of volume, it's even bigger than the first case study. Case study number three, 24% to 67% is expected. And now, so that's 3 out of 3 successful case studies. And 2 out of the 2 official demos to real clients are now converting to sales. They're now preparing for their procurement process. So, because really they saw the huge savings, and they saw the promise of a 2-year return on their investment for just one installation. So what's next for RTAP? This is next for RTAP. The water districts were interested in RTAP. And by 2019, in a span of 3 years, we target 55 clients, which represent 270 million in revenue. And beyond that, 850 to 1.3 billion in revenue. And that's just the Philippine market. And, well, outside is even bigger. That's the business side of RTAP. And this is the impact that we will leave. But in a span of just 3 years, we will be able to save a volume that is enough to supply for 1 million people yearly. Right? So that's the vision. That's, well, as they say, ideas are cheap, plans are just plans, however grand they may be. It's all about the execution. And if you talk about execution, there's no other water company in the Philippines that can execute this other than Hiraya Water. When you talk about water, when you talk about innovation, that's Hiraya Water. Theory and practice. We pride ourselves with our mastery of academic theories and concepts. We pride ourselves with our depth and breadth of experience in the water industry and product development. And that's academe, industry, theory, and practice. That is why Hiraya really is your surest bet. And what's the bet here? The bet is 220,000 US dollars, or 10 million pesos for 12% equity. 220K USD for 12% equity. And that's your key to helping us recover billions worth of water and enabling access to reliable and affordable water for all. Thank you.
Can you please show the slide again with the next steps?
So we are currently, Orani Bataan is currently preparing their procurement process. Orani Bataan is a government-owned and controlled corporation. They really saw the value of RTAP. That's why they're now.
What's your business model?
So, well, the revenue, the pricing, I would like to discuss the pricing of RTAP. We charge upfront fee which range from 350K to a million, depending on the complexity of the system. And then a software as a service fee that will start second year upon their return on their investment. That's a fraction of what they could save on a monthly basis or a yearly basis. So as long as they use RTAP, they gain that they recover.
So you're not like a ESCO where you're actually participating in the savings. You're just getting an annuity.
It's a fixed upfront fee. It's a fixed agreement on the software as a service fee.
How much is the cost of your water pressure meters on both sides? What's the cost of a, let's say, 1,000 service point connection for you?
Well, 1,000 service connection, it's covered by one RTAP installation, one RTAP system. Well, as I mentioned, the upfront fee for the client is 350K to a million. That's what we're charging our customers. And then a software as a service fee, which ranges 120K to 200K per year.
I was trying to get to is how much is
the cost of producing.
Meters, yeah, because you're going to have to install
right.
at each client, at each service connection, plus you need the software and system and server at the pumping station.
Right, so for a 1,000 service connection area, that's just like our case study number 2, which is Orani Bataan. That's 2,000 connections. We installed one pump controller and then another data logger installed kilometers away from the pumping station. Well, the unit economics, we just spent less than 50K for the whole system. Pesos.
Do you have any technologies for actual NRW reduction along the pipelines? What you're doing is pressure management, which is very innovative and
right.
actually very, but it doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't find the leaks. It doesn't patch the leaks.
Mm-hmm. That's I'd like to show you our product roadmap, but it's in a different file.
It's okay.
Later,
it's
right?
something that you're working on, but your current
it's something that we're working on because of the feedback that we gathered from the clients that we've talked to. Right? So we have a product roadmap. It's definitely in the product roadmap.
Thank you.
Hi, could you go into a bit more detail about the patent you have pending? And how can this be replicated by somebody else? For example, a large water company like Maynilad?
I think you mentioned Maynilad. We're from Maynilad. Maynilad was probably one of the key stakeholders, well, mentors and the entities that helped us develop this. Well, really not develop, but we were in Maynilad when we developed this. Maynilad let us use their facilities in the development of this product. Regarding the patent, it's now filed at the IPO in IPO Philippines. People can really copy patents, right? But the value of Hiraya is its network of clients. So it's all about, as with all startups, it's all about the speed of execution, right? And the target of Hiraya is to be able to get these systems installed at least in the Philippines, across the Philippines, so that the barrier for entry to other competitors would be high.
My query again is that water use and availability is a big problem in the Philippines, as it is in a lot of other countries. But your end goal is to save water, right? So
yes.
This sort of technology should be available for everyone.
Yes.
So do you have that patent solely for the purpose of your company being able to monopolize that pressure everywhere, or are you intending to sort of do some training or allow smaller municipalities or towns to help manage their own water sources?
Of course, the initial idea is to be able, for Hiraya to be able to reach our business targets, and then afterwards, it's definitely in our mission, in our vision, to be able to save water. Releasing patents would definitely be an option. releasing the patent to the public would definitely be an option if we are to, if it's also in our interest to really make an impact and save water.
What are you going to spend the money on if you raise the 220 million?
Initial is demo installations, right there. You have the demo installations lined up for us. We target at least 6 more demo installations in the coming months. And then when we have already the case studies that really solidly prove the business case, then we will start with implementing our marketing strategy. And it's something that I'd like to discuss with you.
Okay. I have a question. What companies are your competitors?
Well, the closest competitor would be a British company. It's called I2O Water. Well, I2O is targeting a different market. They're targeting the sophisticated networks, and we're targeting the networks that are not as sophisticated, networks that you can find in the Philippines, the water districts in the Philippines. Our tap has been designed to be compatible with these networks, with the existing infrastructure of these networks in the Philippines and in emerging markets. And of course, the price point. The price point is also a major difference.